I know some of you are nervous, right? You see Jack Smith, you hear the charges, you go, oh my God, the Democrats are trying to lock up their political opponent. Does it not feel on some level like we are in some weird Mueller 2.0 zone? I mean, they've been trying to get this man since he came down the escalator, and nothing is stuck so far. But here's Jack Smith.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding. The indictment was issued by a grand jury of citizens here in the District of Columbia, and it sets forth the crimes charged in detail. I encourage everyone to read it in full. The attack on our nation's capital on January 6th, 2021, was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
I'm going to go over the text of the particular charges in the argument. My first guest represents Virginia's 6th Congressional District, Representative Ben Cline. Thanks for joining me.
Andrew, good to be with you.
All right, the first charge is 18 U.S.C. 371. That is the charge of committing fraud against any agency of the United States government. By the standard, how are the people who submitted false documents to the FISA court for the purpose of wiretapping members of the Trump campaign, how are they not prosecuted under the language of this statute?
Well, I think you're asking a question in the larger sense about the weaponization of the government. And this has been something that's been going on for many years, as you say, the Steele dossier being one of the earliest that in this iteration of the weaponization of government. But these are rules for radicals. Look at Saul Alinsky. Look at the ends justify the means. You know, the use of their tools to pursue political opponents is legendary. It's been going on for years, and this indictment is just the latest in a long string of targeting political opponents.
When did it become a crime to question the outcome of elections? If it was, there'd be a lot of Democrats who would have been locked up in 2017.
Well, you got to ask about the timing as well. The timing of this, when we had Devin Archer before the Weaponization Committee, he was testifying about Hunter Biden, and it was making the news. And then sure enough, the day after, you get this. And these indictments are really following along after the January 6th commission that was Nancy Pelosi's. We've arrived at the conclusions, and now we're going to craft a January 6th commission around it. And the American people see it for what it is, the politicization of our justice system to target political opponents. And it's not just political opponents like the former president, it's conservatives who just want to share their voices on Facebook, on Twitter. We had the chairman of Meta almost facing a contempt of Congress charge for failure to turn over documents about the collaboration with the Department of Justice. So this has been going on across various agencies, various business interests to target conservatives, to weaponize the government. And that's why Jim Jordan is chairing this weaponization committee. That's why it's been created, because it does fall across so many different agencies of government.
Trump's lawyers smartly filed a motion to move the trial to West Virginia. Does anybody really believe that Donald Trump could receive a fair trial in a district that goes for Democrats 93, 94, 95%? You've got a judge who worked at a law firm with Hunter Biden, okay, also appointed by Barack Obama. And Jack Smith, I found this out today, is married to the Obama's personal documentary filmmaker. This just seems like a cabal of people who just want to throw Orange Man bad in jail.
Well, you've given me information I didn't know about that connection, but what you're uh, elaborating on is the fact that the centralization of power in the Justice Department, in the FBI, in Washington, is preventing offices around the country from pursuing justice of their own. So when you have the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office wanting to pursue an investigation of Hunter Biden, arguing that there should be a special counsel, arguing that they should proceed with felony charges, D.C. says, nope, we're going to handle it out of D.C. because that's where the politics run everything. And those decisions are political decisions that really are weaponizing our justice system and targeting average Americans across the country.
You know, I was looking at the text of 18 USC 1512. This is conspiracy to obstruct a federal proceeding. The Democrats in 2016 did not have, the House Democrats did not have senators to concur with their objections, but they made them anyway. Now, it would have been fruitless if the election had been thrown into doubt. The Republican House would have made Donald Trump the president anyway. But that's not the point of the statute. It is the conspiracy and the attempt to obstruct an official government proceeding by Jamie Raskin, Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, Raul Grijalva, all standing to object to the electoral count with no sense. To his credit, I'm going to say it, Joe Biden gavelled them all down. It might have been fruitless, but it was still an attempt.
For years, Democrats have objected to electors being counted. This is nothing new. All of these facts have been known since the 2020 election. So for us to see it now, 3 years in, just in time for the 2024 election, when Donald Trump is tied with Joe Biden in the polls, when you have a situation where the Democrats are obviously scared that Donald Trump could win and beat Joe Biden, that only now are they choosing to move ahead with these charges. It is really frustrating to Americans to see this two-tiered system, and this is just the latest iteration.
I got to leave it there. I'll just say this. You know, I think Republicans learned that the more they pursued Bill Clinton, the more popular he became. I think this is going to make Trump more popular.
I wouldn't doubt it. The president's poll numbers have been going up throughout the year. And
they have. Thank you so much for joining us.
thank you, Andrew.